NBC Sports, #1 in live coverage of major sports events all year round.
Joe Morgan leads off for the Reds in the last of the sixth inning, followed by Johnny Bench and Tony Perez. And Moret and Willoughby are still warming up in the Red Sox bullpen. Gullett threw only 54 pitches in the first 6 innings. He's young and he should be fresh and strong. Curveball is outside to Joe Morgan.
Joe's built up that reputation, and some say he gets a lot of close pitches. The pitchers will tell you that. Joe looking back at Carlton Fisk said, "What are you talking about? Falls quarter of an inch outside."
The 1-0 pitch. 2-0. Well, as Pee Wee Reese used to say, eyes like an eagle. Louis Tiant, 116 pitches last night through 6 innings. Tiant wound up throwing over 160 pitches last night. Now it's ball 3 by Cleveland to Morgan. There's El Premier. El Tiante taking it easy tonight. The 3-0 delivery. 3-1. Reds out hit the Red Sox 5-1 tonight. 2 runs, 5 hits for Cincinnati. 1 run, 1 hit for the Red Sox. Slashes it foul down the first base line.
Marty, I get the feeling that when Joe Morgan was down in Houston, he had no idea at that time how great a player he might be.
No question about that, Tony. In fact, Joe had the reputation of being a very moody, introverted type of player, and he came to Cincinnati, and this winning tradition seemed to bring him out.
That pitch just missed inside. Morgan turned around and yelled something at home plate.
Something to Carlton Fisk. Carlton Fisk might have been badgering home plate umpire George Maloney. And after, look at Cleveland. He is steamed. He thought he missed 2 pitches. Let's look at it. We've got a different angle, of course. We're not directly behind the pitcher. A little bit off. Boy, Morgan has a close look. Fisk holds it right there. May have brought it up a little bit. They thought he had it, but now Morgan is going to battle Cleveland.
You can bet he's going to be going sometime, Kurt and Tony.
All right, he's on first. Nobody out. The Reds are leading 2-1. Bench lined into a double play to left field in the first. Lined out to third in the fourth. Oh, he's ripped the ball twice tonight, right at somebody. They get Morgan back.
Cleveland quick to first, but slow going home.
Morgan likes that. There's a throwback. Likes to get that front foot on the artificial surface. And the back foot's on the dirt. Again, they drive him back. He says he can't accelerate as quickly as Lou Brock. Brock can take off faster than he can. A closer play.
He didn't dive back that time. Contrasting styles of base stealing by Brock and Morgan. Brock does not get as big a lead as Joe Morgan does. He likes to be leading in the direction. Keeps some momentum going towards second base.
Morgan on first, nobody out. Again, they drive him back.
Watch him kick that left foot. He digs it in pretty well. Now he scampers back, and you can see that crossover step right over left going back to the bag. He'll do the opposite going to second.
He stole a base in the first inning.
He's getting back without diving, which is a pretty good sign for
right.
Joe. He still probably doesn't have the maximum lead he feels he can get. So he's read Cleveland pretty well.
Now he and Cleveland continue to play the game.
Kurt, this is a good idea of another one of the attributes that makes him so valuable to the Reds. He can really disrupt the pitcher's concentration with this type of thing.
Bench finally gets a chance to get into the act. 0-1 to Johnny Bench. He's getting a little tired watching Cleveland and Morgan go at it. How about me? Reds are leading 2-1. They're batting in the last of the 6th inning. Really working on Morgan. Again.
Whoa.
Really threw it away.
Cleveland's got the short, quick move. Yastrzemski with a nice play right there. Morgan diving back that time.
Somebody's going to be worn out when this is all over, either Cleveland or Morgan. He's made about 7 or 8 moves to first base. The count is 1 strike to Bench. Again.
Think about me and forget about him. That's what Morgan's saying. Keep me on your mind. You're going to forget John at the plate.
Now the fans booing Reggie Cleveland for his continued moves to first. We still have a 1-strike count to the forgotten Johnny Bench. There goes Morgan. And the pitch is fouled back. Morgan had the jump. Bench fouls it back, and it's an 0-2 count to Johnny Bench.
You got to look here of Joe Morgan's jump, and he got a pretty good one there on Reggie Cleveland and coming to the plate, but Bench fouls it off, and Joe Morgan with a pretty good philosophy. Tony, he says in situations like this, he'll give the batter no matter who it will be, and normally it's either Johnny Bench or Tony Perez. He'll give him a strike, but after that, he's going to be going sometime.
All right, a 2-strike count to Bench. The Reds are ahead 2-1, last of the 6th.
You wonder now, with 2 strikes on Bench in the hole as he is, 0-2, if Morgan will go and disrupt Bench's concentration. I don't know if it bothers Johnny or not.
We'll soon find out. Cleveland's thrown an entire ball game here in this one situation again. That's about the closest they've come to getting him. Now Morgan asks for time. He wants to get himself gathered.
Some of the National League first basemen, Bob Watson from Houston, Ron Fairley from St. Louis, tried something new, getting off the bag in the direction of Morgan. 3 or 4 feet sometimes. They'd follow him up the line. I want to ask Marty, did that have any success against Joe?
No, it didn't, Tony.
And we still have a 2-strike count. Morgan at first, nobody out. Yastrzemski. Something's going to happen over there sometime. He's either going to steal a base or they're going to drop a ball or throw it away. Watch Yastrzemski here. Reaching out. He had to come off the bag, got his feet tangled. 2 strikes. Now the pitch to the plate. Nearly a wild pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Johnny Bench. The Red Sox scored on the 1st. The Reds came back with a single in the 4th and a home run by Perez in the 5th. They're leading 2-1. Bench drills it into right field. Looks like Doyle got crossed up. Here comes Morgan the 3rd. A high throw. Bounds away. Carlton Fisk stayed at home plate, and Reggie Cleveland went over there and picked up the ricochet.
Kurt and Marty, Denny Doyle, even though Morgan wasn't going, was breaking towards second base. He took about 2 steps over in the direction of second, and the double play probably would have been in order had he stayed in his position. Let's watch Morgan. Doyle has already left his straightaway position. You could see him drop his arms in disgust, knowing he left too soon, and for what reason I don't know. Morgan now has to hustle off the arm of Dwight Evans. And out comes Darrell Johnson to talk to Cleveland. Another fundamental mistake, Kurt, overthrowing a cutoff man, allowing Betts to go to second. Something the Red Sox haven't done much of this series.
That's right. That's the ricochet helped them, too, right back to Reggie Cleveland off the screen in front of the Red Sox dugout. Now manager Darrell Johnson out talking to Cleveland. And the Reds right now, the way Gullett is pitching, are sitting in beautiful shape. They have runners on 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. And Johnson stays with Cleveland. There's Moret and Willoughby in the bullpen.
And we had a great chance to see on that last play what Morgan does to a defense, a pitcher, a catcher. He had Doyle, even though he wasn't stealing, going cover second base.
All right, the infield has to come in now. Nobody out. Morgan at third. Bench at second. Infield in, outfield deep. A ball to Perez, who came out of it with a home run to left center in the fourth. Cleveland looks over to Morgan at third. That pitch is a high foul over toward the Reds dugout. Fisk can't get it. It drops into about the fourth or fifth row.
And with the catcher down at second base in Johnny Bench, they're going to have to do some switching of these signs, or he's going to relay something to Tony Perez. I'd have to believe that if Tony Perez knew what was coming, he could be dynamite up at the plate.
I'd have to agree with you. 1 ball, 1 strike to Tony. Morgan's at third, Bench is at second, nobody out. Last of the 6th inning. The Reds are stirring. Look at Bench looking in, see if he can grab a sign. That's fouled away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Just about every game, the Red Sox have out hit the Reds, but tonight it's different. 6 hits for the Reds tonight to 1 for the Red Sox. Morgan at third, Bench at second. Nobody out. High foul. Fisk may have a play on this one.
Oh!
Ooh, he goes into the camera. Into the dugout. The wind is blowing in, and the wind blew the ball back.
You'll recall the super catch he made in the stands back in one of the earlier games. He just never gives up on the ball. He tore somebody's Nikon lens apart right there.
I think he's looking for his mask.
I think he might have gone back over to see if he hurt anybody. Talk about the kind of gentleman he is. He left his mask back at home plate. I'd have to see if everybody's all right.
I was kidding about his mask. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runners on second and third. Nobody out. Tony Perez. With that infield drawn in against him. He hits a blast in the deep left center. That's gone. Way back.
We're congratulating little Joe. He had a little bit to do with that, of course, and to show you the respect that Cleveland had. With Morgan on third, he was pitching from the stretch to Perez, and most pitchers can't throw as hard or as effectively from the stretch as they can from the full windup.
What a way to come out of a slump, the way Perez tonight. 2 homers, 4 runs batted in. They have a break in the action here at Cincinnati. The score now, Cincinnati 5 and Boston 1. All right, we have a new pitcher. Jim Willoughby's on. He was good in relief the other night, but he comes in behind here 5-1. The last player to hit 2 homers in a series game was Gene Tennis back in 1972, and he hit consecutive home runs the way Perez has hit them tonight. The last National League player to hit 2 home runs in a game was Charlie Neal of the Dodgers in 1959. Babe Ruth, twice, the only player ever to hit 3 homers in a series game.
Say, I wish they'd give those people up above us and all around us a microphone. They're getting on us pretty good, Kurt. Not Marty, of course, but a lot of the fans, when they heard the first 2 games up in Boston, felt that we were a little bit partial to the Boston Red Sox because Kurt is a former Boston Red Sox announcer. I'm a former American leaguer, and Dick Stockton doing the game is the present-day Red Sox announcer. But we got a stack of telegrams today from the Boston fans, I understand, saying we were partial to the Reds the last couple of days. Which is interesting.
6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Never will forget doing a Rose Bowl game one year, USC Ohio State. I still have to mail about 1,000 letters. 500 and some accused me of being prejudiced for Ohio State, and the other 500 being prejudiced for USC. Same game, same words, same lines. George Foster is fouled out and popped up. Well, the Reds have opened up here in the 4th, 5th, and 6th. They lead now 5-1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Foster. Jim Willoughby, sinker ball pitcher. And his delivery is 2-1. Roger Moret continues to warm up. Anytime the big man Perez breaks out, that makes the Reds even more dynamite.
Well, the change in the batting order for Cincinnati has reaped dividends tonight, Kurt.
The 2-1 delivery. There's Tony's wife. That's the happiest wife in America right now. That smile, too, Mrs. Perez. What a beautiful smile. 3 balls, 1 strike. Nobody on, nobody out. 3 runs in. Line shot to the box. 1 out. Concepcion has grounded out twice.
Since the 4th inning on, the Reds have really been swinging the bats no matter who's on the mound. They've been hitting some shots.
They look, to me tonight, as determined. Any game in a series, they're really bearing down. And, of course, receiving a great pitching performance so far doesn't hurt them. From Don Gullett. 1 out, nobody on. Concepcion. Low inside to him for a ball. Last of the 6th inning. 5 runs. 7 hits for the Reds. 1 run, 1 hit for the Red Sox. Outside, 2-0 to Dave Concepcion. Game 6 will start at 12:30 Eastern Time Saturday. The baseball world with Joe Garagiola. And then Bill Lee against Jack Billingham. 3 balls, no strikes to Concepcion. Gets that pitch over. We're going to pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network. Back here in Riverfront Stadium, Cincinnati. 3-2 count now to Dave Concepcion with 1 out, nobody on. He bounds a foul over by the Red Sox dugout and in. Morgan started with a walk. Bench single. Perez homered. Foster's lined out. And Concepcion the batter.
Out.
He's hit by a pitch ball.
He got hit on the right hand.
That ball rode right in on him. Sparky Anderson very concerned.
Willoughby's ball really tails in the right-handed hitters. You see David really aggressively going after the ball. He has no chance. Looked like it might have nicked his shirt first and then picked him off on the hand.
That's the kind of pitch that Jim Rice received a broken hand just before the end of the season and put him out of the playoffs in the World Series.
Larry Starr, along with Sparky Anderson, Starr the trainer. That one thrown right at a batter's head. Most of the time he gets out of the way, but if it's thrown a little bit behind you or right at your back, almost as that one was, you have a tendency sometimes to back right into. Did it get him on the elbow, the forearm?
It's like right at the point of the elbow. Well, that can be painful.
And it's on his throwing arm, too, which, if it should stiffen up, will make it difficult for Concepcion to make some throws. He's a valuable piece of property. This year he didn't have quite the year they expected of him.
In the meantime, Dick Pohl has joined Roger Moretta in the Red Sox bullpen. This has been a long inning for Don Gullett to be sitting in that dugout. Morgan and Cleveland must have taken about 10 minutes for their cat and mouse game.
Remember, Concepcion's arm's hurt, not his leg. He rarely gets thrown out when he attempts to steal a base. And Willoughby, long and lanky from the side, not noted for quickness.
That's right. Concepcion swiped 33 out of 39 this year.
Kurt Sparky Anderson getting rookie Doug Flynn up and loosening in the Cincinnati bullpen in the event that Concepcion has to come out.
Well, that elbow could stiffen up on him. Willoughby with his stretch. There goes the runner. Here's the throwdown. And it's an easy steal for Concepcion.
He's been taught an awful lot about base stealing by Joe Morgan. You can see they've got almost identical leads. 1 foot on the dirt, 1 foot on the artificial surface, and it's just no contest for Carlton Fisk.
The Reds now have stolen 6 bases in this series in 8 attempts. Concepcion is second. Morgan stole in the first. Concepcion here in the 6th. Ball 2, 2-0 to Cesar Geronimo. He's flied out and grounded out. There's Doug Flynn, the utility infielder, warming up. Don Gullett, the Red pitcher, due up next. He blasts that one foul down the right field line.
I think it's a cute story told about Doug Flynn standing out there in the bullpen. He was saying, all year long they've been telling me how unfortunate I am to have to break in with a team that has Rose, Concepcion, Morgan. He says, now they're telling me how fortunate you are because look what it's going to pay you. About $20,000.
Tony, Sparky Anderson feels this young man is the best all-around utility infielder in the National League.
The 2-1 delivery. Foul back. Well, how good is he? Can he press any of those regulars next year?
I don't think he can, not with the Reds infield, Kurt. He does an excellent job at second base. He can really turn the double play, has good hands. That's his best position.
Every club needs a good utility man, though, in case of injuries. That can be a key player for you. He checks the swing in his 3-2. In fact, we were asking Red Sox manager Darrell Johnson about next year. That is Johnny Bench's wife. (3-2) delivery. There's a bounding ball hit down to first. 2 down. Concepcion moves to third. One of the surprise sports shots of all time on television.
Standing ovation for Don Gullett. Appreciation for the one-hitter he's thrown. And Don Gullett right now, Bet, wishes he could get that one off-speed pitch. Looked like a forkball. He threw to Denny Doyle, the triple in the right field corner. He might be riding on a no-hitter. And he goes out for the 7th.
Don Gullett. He has struck out and singled. Fouls it back. 0-1. He has pitched a one-hitter tonight. And right now has a 4-run lead to work on when he comes out for the 7th inning. Concepcion rubbing that elbow down there at third. Oh, and 2. There's Dave. Evidently, he's going to come on back out and play defensive ball in the top of the 7th. The 2-strike pitch. Gullett strikes out. The Reds had 3 runs. They had 2 hits. There were no errors. They left one at the end of 6, 5-1. We're watching Concepcion. He got hit on that right elbow, his throwing elbow, and we're watching him in infield practice throw over to first.
He's got that right hand bandaged up, Marty. What's that from?
Tony, he was hit by a pitch during the season from Montreal right-hander Dale Murray and suffered a small broken bone, was out maybe 3 weeks, and he's had it taped up heavily ever since that time.
Kurt, you broadcasters know what that can be. If you get hit on that ulnar nerve, sometimes broadcasters get that from leaning on their elbows, don't they, and cupping their ear?
Broadcaster's elbow.
I thought you were going to say leaning on a bar.
No. And if that bothers him, where he can't throw, loses the feeling in that hand, might mean something if he can't come back.
What do you mean, you broadcast?
I didn't
what
say
you.
I'm just here talking about baseball, I think. There's a microphone in my face.
Well, let's see now. Here's Gullett out. He's got a 1-hitter going for himself. He's allowed only 1 base runner since the 1st inning. The 1 hit was by Denny Doyle, a triple in the 1st. Doyle scored on Yastrzemski's fly ball. And the first pitch to Yastrzemski's a ball. Yastrzemski a sacrifice fly, and he's lined to center. He hits a bounding ball down to Perez at first. It is a foul ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gullett has been a tremendous pitcher in this ballpark. This year he won 10 and lost 1 during the regular season. He had a win in the playoffs, so he's 11 out of 12 decisions here at home in 1975. A 1-1 pitch. Yastrzemski pops it up. Perez coming on and foul ground. And the Red Sox have 1 down in the 7th. This is our last game of the 75 series here in Cincinnati. And as usual, we've been treated magnificently by Bob Howsam, the president of the Reds, Dick Wagner, their vice president, their PR director, Jim Ferguson, all their hospitality. This is really a well-run ball club here. It is a machine, not only on the field, but the way it's run, the way they merchandise and showcase baseball. No balls and 1 strike to Carlton Fisk. Gullett has struck him out twice. The 0-1 delivery. Curve a little bit low as he goes to the breaking pitch on Fisk. Fisk being played deep straight away. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Gullett's got a good rhythm going now. He's getting the ball back, getting his sign in a hurry. He wants to throw the ball. He's anxious to pitch. It won't surprise me if the Red Sox start stepping out.
Fisk pops it up. Bench back toward the screen. And it lands on top of one of our cameras down there.
That's better than on the cameraman.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
You all right down there, Al Rice?
I get a kick. I saw Jack Bennett before the game. He's been with us for years. I said, where are you working? He said, high first. Used to be, one him back at home plate, one him back at first and third years ago. Now they have him high and low. We have 10 cameras working this ball game tonight. Foul ball. Gullett is just overpowering tonight. They're not getting around. They're popping him up.
He's got a good curveball going now, too. That's what that was to Fisk, a hard curve.
Reds think he's the best left-hander in baseball. The way he looks tonight, I wouldn't argue.
Kurt, you talk about Don Gullett. The Red Sox are seeing the real Don Gullett, and they're also seeing the real Big Red Machine for maybe the first time.
The 2-2 delivery. Fisk drives it into deep left. Foster backs up and takes it. Line drive by Fisk to Foster and left.
Now, only a left-hander would do what's going on in the Red Sox bullpen. Bill Lee loosening up for his next start. He is pitching from a distance about twice 60 feet 6 inches. That catcher's way back. Tim Blackwell passed home plate, but that's Bill Lee.
Oh, he's a left-hander all the way, isn't he? Foul back by Freddie Lynn, who's popped up and struck out. 5-1. The Reds ahead. The Red Sox batting in the seventh. Rico Petrocelli is the on-deck batter. That's a fastball on the inside corner, strike two. Gullett is overpowering the rookie Lynn tonight. Lynn pops it up. Coming on, Geronimo. Waiting. And has it. And again, Gullett sails through the Red Sox lineup. We're coming to the home half, the seventh, with the score. Cincinnati 5, Boston 1. Pete Rose has had a perfect night. A single, a walk, a double. He's knocked in a run. Last of the seventh, top of the Red batting order. Rose, Griffey, and Morgan. Reds sitting on top of a 5-1 lead. Tries to bunt his way on. Foul ball. Willoughby on the mound for the Red Sox. Reggie Cleveland hammered out of the sixth inning. A 3-run homer by Tony Perez. To touch normally in the regular season. You have to get off the mound. Here's a drive by Rose in the deep left. Benitez going back. He'll have room and takes it on the warning track. You have to get off the mound. You want to put your hand up to your mouth. But tonight the umpires are giving the pitcher that's about 50 degrees special permission to blow on their pitching hand. And you see Willoughby now and then do that. Ken Griffey has struck out, lined out, popped up, 0 for 3.
Before Griffey went up to the plate, Joe Morgan popped out of the dugout and had a talk with him. I don't know if he was telling him something about Willoughby's pitching or something about his move to first base or to home plate if he gets on.
Willoughby missing outside, 1-0. Cincinnati leading 5-1. Last of the seventh. There's Morgan on deck. Now he's behind him 2-0. Reds' longest losing streak at home this year has been 2 games. They lost twice, 3 times in a row. They've lost only 18 games there all year, including the regular season, the playoffs, and the World Series. Two and one. Well, they've got the club for everything in this ballpark. Hitting, defense, and speed. They didn't have the starting pitching for complete games, but they had the bullpen to back it up. And a great young left-hander in Gullett. In the last 2 months, in the last 50 Cincinnati games, their staff produced only 2 complete games. Both by Don Gullett. Low bound to Doyle. Scoops it over. Just trying to back it up. And that's little Denny Doyle, who raced over to pick up his own errant throw.
That'll show you speed when you feel as an infielder you can't even take time to take the ball out of your glove. Watch him shuffle it with his gloved hand. The only chance he had on Griffey. What a play by Fisk backing it up, although the ball did not go in the dugout. He came barreling into that screen. Darrell Johnson out now, and we'll see if the information that Morgan relayed to Griffey was something about Willoughby's move if he stays in the ball game. 2 left-handers warming up, so Darrell playing percentages might go to Moret, who should be loose.
Carlton Fisk has dived into the camera box. He slid into the wire fence in front of the red dugout trying to back up that throw. And the 2 left-handers are out there now with Morgan, a left-handed batter, due up, and then Johnny Bench. Johnson sticks with Willoughby. Now that Griffey could get to first base.
38 infield hits during the season, Kurt, and that was, a typical play right there. A slow bounding ball to the right side of the infield, and Doyle really did the only thing he could do to have any chance on it.
5-1. The Reds ahead, batting in the last of the seventh. Griffey back.
You know, you could take a picture of the three base stealers, Morgan, Concepcion, and Griffey, where they finally end up, and their 2 feet would be in almost identical spots. Look at that. The same leads, all taught by Joe Morgan.
Griffey stole 16 out of 23 this year. The Reds set an all-time record, stealing over 80% successfully. 83% to be exact. No major league club has ever been that successful in running the bases. 1 ball, no strikes. To Morgan, who is single, flying out on Watt. That's Griffey looking at first, Yastrzemski holding.
Marty, Joe, I understand, when he was sitting in that third spot, didn't like guys running off first base to steal bases. Finally, Sparky talked to him and said, with 2 strikes, is it all right? And he said, yeah.
Tony, that's a good point, because it does bother Joe Morgan. As you know, some hitters it doesn't affect, some it does, and it bothered him considerably.
Willoughby's trying to keep Griffey close. 1 ball, no strikes to Morgan. 5-1, Reds. There goes Griffey. That drive. Great stab by Burleson. A little flip to first with a double play. What a catch.
He was going over to cover the bag on the steal attempt. Got in a little bit better position. You could see the expression on Morgan's face. He said, oh, almost as if he could read what was going to happen. A great play by Burleson.
So at the end of 7, it's still Cincinnati 5 and Boston 1. We're going to the 8th inning. And Don Gullett of Lynn, Kentucky, has pitched a 1-hitter. Here in Game 5 of the World Series, that hit came in the first inning. There's a high drive to deep left center by Rico Petrocelli, and Geronimo right back up against the wall. Well, he doesn't waste any time drawing a beat on the ball. He knows right where to go, and he's there.
The balls hit high in the air don't seem to be carrying, but of course Tony Perez's balls were rising line drives. He hit them so hard.
Dwight Evans line out to left twice. Only 2 base runners for Boston tonight. Doyle, who tripled in the first, and Vanegas, who walked in the 6th. 5-1, Cincinnati. You Simon and Garfunkel fans, and there are millions in this country, they're going to be reunited this Saturday night on NBC's Saturday Night, 11:30 Eastern Time. What music they wrote together. Really great young entertainers. You'll see them Saturday night on NBC as you watch Rick Burleson on deck. Evans. On that sharp breaking curve by Gullett, who has everything going for him now. He's got a lead, he's got the stuff, the control. He's working very quickly. Outside, 2-2.
Marty, he hasn't thrown too many pitches, but is there something that Larry Shepard or Sparky Anderson look for if he is going to tire?
He'll start to drop down a little bit, Tony, and Larry Shepard will normally immediately come out.
Evans smacks a single up the middle. According to Sparky Anderson, Evans has been the #1 player in this World Series for the Red Sox. The player that has most impressed him. Here's Rick Burleson, who's popped up and flied to right. He's had quite a series. Something unusual tonight, it's a quiet Cincinnati bullpen. They used 3 pitchers in the opening game, 4 in the second, 5 in the third, 4, and now suddenly McEnany goes to work. A little pop out into left center, waiting for it, Geronimo, and Burleson is flied out. 2 down. Evans holds at first. Doug Griffin, a right-hander, will come out.
Eastwick, the right-hander. McEnany, the left-hander. Sparky's got him going. Old Captain Hook's. Well, that's it, old Captain Hook.
Sparky told me a cute story tonight. I'm walking down the street today, and a fella stopped me and said, I want to tell you something, Sparky. You better win tonight. And Sparky said, don't ever tell me I better do something.
Wasn't Bob Housen, was it?
That's the guy. Oh. He was muttering about that. This fan said, you better win. Doug Griffin batting for the pitcher, Willoughby. This is his first appearance in the World Series, a right-hander. Denny Doyle beat him out the latter part of the season with a second base job. Gullett sitting on top of a 5-1 lead. Evans at first, 2 down. Pitch is low, ball 2. Anderson watching his pitcher. There's one of the all-time heroes with the glasses in Cincinnati baseball history, Big Clue, Ted Kluszewski. He's their hitting coach. 2-1.
He's also in the Polish Hall of Fame.
Where we're trying to get you. Having a very difficult time with it, though. Carlton Fisk and the on-deck man. Or who would be on deck? Benicus was on deck, but that was Doyle you saw around the bat rack. 3 balls and a strike to Doug Griffin. Only 1 walk issued by Don Gullett. Strike 2 to Griffin, 3-2. 5 runs, 8 hits for the Reds. 1 run, 2 hits for the Red Sox.
How easy Johnny Bench makes it look. There's Evans.
Evans is going. That's a line drive to Joe Morgan. And the side's retired. No runs, a hit, 1 left. We're going to the last of the 8th. It is still 5-1 Cincinnati. Right, Simon and Garfunkel. Saturday night on NBC, and right now we're in the last of the 8th inning. I know one thing. There's one man going to get a standing ovation when he comes up tonight. And he'll follow Johnny Bench, who'll lead off the inning, and that's Tony Perez, who had gone hitless in 15 times, then came up in the 4th inning, hit a home run, came back up in the 6th inning, and hit a 3-run homer. He's one of the all-time popular players in Cincinnati, and his fans were delighted to see a frustrated man break out of it here in the final game in Cincinnati of the 75 series. Johnny Bench lined into a double play to left, lined out to third, and had a single to right. The Reds scored a run in the 4th, a run in the 5th, and 3 in the 6th. The Red Sox had their run in the 1st inning. The new pitcher is Dick Pole. He was out with an injury this year. On deck is Perez.
Pole had his jaw broken, a line drive. He has a good live arm. They say his fastball moves more than anybody's on the staff. That's what he has trouble with, the control. Good curveball. He has trouble keeping it in the strike zone, but his fastball sinks.
How do you pronounce Tony's name here in Cincinnati, Marty?
Kubek.
I mean, the on-deck man.
Perez.
Perez. I think Kubek is correct. He says Perez. Perez.
I guess that's the Latin American pronunciation, Perez.
Buck Cannell said it's like saying Pete Rose, the way you say it, you fellas. Pitches ball 3, strike 1 to Johnny Bench. Pete Rose.
You can pronounce his name any way you want today, but put star in front of it so far in the game.
Johnny Bench, 3-1 count. He's on. Here is Tony Perez coming up. Now here's a standing ovation for him. And he has a chance to tie a record. Only one man in the history of the World Series has ever hit 3 homers in a World Series game. And, of course, that was the immortal Babe Ruth, who did it twice. When the Babe did things, he did it big. Perez has knocked in 4 runs tonight. The pitch is low for a ball, 1-0. The Reds are leading 5-1, batting in the last of the 8th inning. The Red Sox last chance in the 9th. They'll have the top of their order: Beniquez, Doyle, and Yastrzemski.
And you can't get too careless with Bench down on first base, because he'll surprise you, as he has several pitchers this year.
He has stolen 12 out of 12 this season. Fastballs outside Perez. 2-0. Sort of puts them all to sleep and then takes off, doesn't he, Marty?
Yes, he does, Kurt. Most of the steals, in fact, every one of the steals that he had were delayed steals.
That's a smart ball player. 2 balls, no strikes. 3-0 to Perez. Cole walk Bench. Now he's dropped behind Perez, 3-0. Perez looking down for hit or take. I'll have to have him swinging. They have just had the largest crowd in the 107-year history of the Reds. A standing room only crowd of 56,393. And this is the first professional baseball club, you know, the old Cincinnati Red Stockings.
They have a good club, Kurt.
Yeah, I like it. He didn't have the speed this club had. Perez walked. He didn't get a chance for that 3rd homer tonight.
Stan Williams is going to pop out now. Darrell Johnson has Rogelio Moret throwing a left-hander and Diego Segui a right-hander.
Dick Paul has walked Bench and Perez. 5-1, the Reds on top.
It'll be something to see, Kurt, when we get to Fenway for Game 6 and 7, if the right-handers continue to swing the bats.
Well, we'll find out at Fenway Saturday. Right now we have a break in the action right here in Riverfront Stadium. And there's your score, 5-1 Cincinnati.
Diego Segui, the new Red Sox pitcher, a man who has struggled through this year, but has never missed a call when Darrell Johnson has wanted him. He has a forkball, fastball, and one game this season, Joe Garagiola and I did a game, Kurt and Marty, and we got on Diego Segui a little bit. He was upset with us, and possibly we owe him an apology because we may have gotten on him too much and made fun of him. Diego Segui.
Well, he's taking his warm-up pitches. He's waiting to face George Foster. If you've joined us late, the Red Sox scored in the 1st inning their lone run of the game. A triple by Denny Doyle. He came in to score, and Carl Yastrzemski sacrificed fly. Then the Reds in the 4th. Perez homered. In the 5th, they picked up another run. Gullett scoring on Rose's double, and Perez had a 3-run homer in the 6th. Runners on 1st and 2nd, nobody out. As Foster steps in, last of the 8th inning. This is the 4th pitcher for the Red Sox tonight. Don Gullett has gone all the way for Cincinnati. High fly ball, deep right. Bench may tag at 2nd. Evans has it. Bench is coming. Here's a throw. And it hit the runner going in. Johnny in the back going into the bag. Holding at first base was Perez.
We'll get a good shot right here to see what kind of arm Dwight Evans has. The ball hit Johnny in the back. Dwight had tried to throw it all the way on the fly. He overthrew his cutoff man, but he was showing off that great arm he has. Had it not hit him, it might have been close, fellas. Or it might have bounced over Petrocelli's head in the dugout, too. Here comes Bench from another angle, right at you. There's the ball hitting him.
Well, he winds up at 3rd, Bench. Perez at 1st, 1 out. And Dave Concepcion moves in. He has grounded out twice and has been hit by a pitch ball. Got hit on the right elbow, his throwing elbow. He stayed in the game. 4-run lead for the Reds in the last of the 8th. Game 6 in Boston Saturday. Bill Lee, a left-hander, against Jack Billingham, a right-hander. Start at 12:30 Eastern Time.
Daryl Johnson's got his infield playing back in the first and third situation and 1 out. He can't afford to give up any more runs. Concepcion is a tough man to double up with his speed.
And they have Geronimo on deck. Reds have out-hit the Red Sox 8-2. He fouls it back. Reds have had everything tonight. Base running, power, pitching, and defense. They've excelled in every department of the game thus far. One ball, one strike. Runners on first and third. Perez had a steal here the other night. Let's see if he tries to go again. McGee's pitch. That's outside. 2-1. 2-1 to Dave Concepcion.
Once again, Fisk, you can see him turn on home plate umpire George Maloney, upset with the call. Diego Segui was also upset. It puts him in a hole now, 2 balls and 1 strike.
The Red Sox have a special charter plane. They'll fly out here after the game. I think the Reds leave tomorrow, don't they, Marty?
10 o'clock, Kurt.
2-1. Foul back. Let's hope we get better weather Saturday than we had last Sunday in Boston.
That last swing, Concepcion's right arm flew off the bat. We can't tell if that's an indication or not, whether that elbow is bothering him.
Runners on first and third, 1 down. Reds are batting in the last of the 8th, leading 5-1. 2-2 pitch to Concepcion. There goes Perez. Fly ball to right field. Bench is tagging. Evans has it. Here comes Bench. A throw by Evans. Cut off by Yastrzemski. Sacrifice fly and a run batted in for Concepcion. And the Reds lead 6-1.
This is more the Cincinnati kind of team, Marty Brenneman, that you saw all year long, executing the way they have, getting the fly ball to drive home a run.
Absolutely, Tony. As Kurt said, the Reds have had a blend of everything tonight that, well, this club won 108 games during the regular season. When you talk about have they played well enough in this World Series up to this ball game, this pretty much tells the story of why this club had the kind of year it had.
Geronimo has been blanked. 0 for 3. Perez at first, 2 down. Pitch is high. The Red Sox last hope in the 9th. Beniquez, Doyle, and Yastrzemski facing left-hander Don Gullett.
Of course, the Reds tonight aren't facing Louis Tiant. It'll be interesting if we do get to Game 7, whether the Reds will have solved Tiant's deliveries by that time.
A 1-0 pitch. 2-0. Well, we know Billingham pitched well at Fenway for a few innings with his sinker ball. Lee was excellent. That'll be a good matchup on Saturday. Lee throws a lot of sinking stuff, breaking ball pitches, and Billingham's a sinking ball pitcher. Talk all they want about that green wall. That wind's coming in. They'll have trouble hitting it again. There's a drive in the right center. Fred Lynn flags down. 3 long outfield flies by the Reds there in the last of the 8th. 1 run, no hits, 1 left. We're going to the 9th. Cincinnati leading 6-1. Preceding announcement was furnished to the public service by Major League Baseball. Don Gullett has spun a 2-hitter tonight. If Gullett pitches a 2-hitter, it'll be the first in a series game since Nelson Briles' victory in 1971. It'll be Gullett's first series victory against win-loss if he holds on. Well, it's odd, Marty, that in the 72, 73, and 74 World Series, we did not have a complete game. Tiant's already pitched 2 complete games in this series. And Gullett made a night, even though they have warm-up action in the Cincinnati bullpen. 2-0 to Juan Beniquez. He's grounded out, popped up, and walked. (6-1) Cincinnati. And he's way high and wild with that one. 3-0. 3 balls, no strikes. The 3-0 delivery. A strike with a fastball, 3-1. Gullett has walked only 1. Given up 2 hits, 3 base runners against him tonight. 3-2. You seen him any better this year, Marty?
No, I haven't, Kurt. I haven't seen him any better than this in 2 years, to be honest about it.
Well, when he had to be great, he was great tonight. And there's a strikeout. Beniquez is gone. 7 strikeouts for Don Gullett. This was a big one for him to give the Reds the lead if he holds on to it here to go back to Boston. The Red Sox would have had the momentum had they knocked Gullett out tonight. It's still not over yet, but he has just been overpowering. 7 strikeouts and a walk and only 2 hits. Denny Doyle, who tripled, grounded out twice, has strike 1 to him. Don Larson, of course, pitched the perfect game. The only no-hitter in World Series history. We've had 4 one-hitters. Ed Ruhlbach of the Cubs in 1906. Claude Passeau of the Cubs in 45. Foul ball out of play. Jim Lomberg of the Red Sox against the Cards at 6-7. And Floyd Bevins of the Yankees. He had his no-hitter spoiled. 2 down in the 9th inning by pinch hitter Cookie Lavagetto. And here's a masterpiece tonight by Gullett. The 1-2 pitch. Bounding ball to the right side to Morgan. Makes the play to Perez, and they're 2 down.
Kurt, an interesting point. As overpowering as Don Gullett has been tonight, Denny Doyle has been able to pull him to the right side 3 times.
He has really put the bat on the ball better than any Red Sox player tonight. Yastrzemski. Sacrifice fly to right, line to center, and fouled out. 0 for 2. Some of the fans filing for the exit. He's rammed it into center field. Keep the Red Sox hopeful alive. With 2 down, he singled. So it's 6-1 now. The Reds have 8 hits. The Red Sox 3 hits. Carlton Fisk has struck out twice and lined out to left. Red Sox down to their final out. The top of the 9th inning. Don Gullett trying to nail it down. Ian Perez have been the stars tonight. There's a base hit in the left field by Carlton Fisk. And after 2 out, nobody on, Yastrzemski and Fisk both single. Here's Sparky Anderson coming out. He's getting some boos, some cheers. He skips the line. That's one of his superstitions.
Kurt, when he comes out, it's normally going to mean that he's going to bring his pitcher back with him. Left-handed hitter Fred Lynn coming up next. He's got McEnany, who's been throwing down there, but the way things look now, maybe Sparky's going to let him stay in.
Bonnie, it looked like Johnny Benches. How do you feel? Gullett said, I'm all right. Now Sparky gets a hand as he comes back into the dugout. Gullett has handled Lynn with a pop-up, a strikeout, and a fly ball. 2 down. That last out's always the hardest to get. 6-1, Cincinnati in the top of the 9th inning. Yastrzemski at second, Fisk at first. The pitch is high to Lynn for a ball. Gullett again, and there's a high foul sailing into the seats. 1 ball, 1 strike to Fred Lynn. The Reds did not have a complete game in the 72 series, nor this series so far, as Gullett is very close. There's 1-1 pitch. Curveball, strike 2. 1-2. The 1-2 delivery. Dribbled foul. Don Gullett 1 strike away of sending the Reds into a 3-2 lead when the 2 teams go back to Boston for Game 6. Two down. Here's the 1-2 delivery, and he hits it fair down the right field line into the corner. Yastrzemski's in the score. Fisk goes to third, and in the second is Lynn with a double. And the Red Sox have had 3 hits in a row after 2 out, nobody on. An RBI for Lynn. That makes the score now 6-2, and Sparky Anderson's getting ready to move out. A right-hander, Petrocelli, is due up next. Here's Anderson coming out. Don Gullett suddenly lost it in the ninth with 2 down, nobody on. Yastrzemski hit a single to center, Fisk a single to left, and Lynn a double into the right field corner.
Well, coming in now.
What an ovation for Don Gullett.
Pitched a whale of a ball game, Kurt. As you said, he lost it very, very quickly in the 9th inning. He struck out Beniquez leading off on a good live fastball. But with 2 down, 3 straight hits, and, well, again, we see Sparky Anderson go to his bullpen for the 4th time in this series and bring on right-hander Raleigh Eastwick. There's a break in the action here at Cincinnati. The score, the Cincinnati Reds 6, the Boston Red Sox 2.
When Don Gullett got the first 2 men out, Beniquez and Doyle with nobody on, I think you'd have bet your home that he was going to pitch a complete game. And suddenly the Red Sox came to life with 3 hits in a row, and now Raleigh Eastwick is in for his 4th game of this series. He's allowed only 1 run in 6 2/3 innings of relief. And he's facing Rico Petrocelli, who has struck out and fly to center field twice. Fisk is at third, Lynn's at second, 2 down. 6-2 Cincinnati. A strike for Rico Petrocelli. Petrocelli's hit safely in every game except this one. Burleson, who'd hit safely in every game, has been checked tonight. But Doyle continues his streak. Foul ball back. Eastwick is 2 strikes to Rico Petrocelli. Not a very happy Red Sox dugout. Oh, 2. 2 down. 2 men in scoring position. 9th inning. There it is. Eastwood strikes Petrocelli out, and the Reds lead 3-2. In the 9th inning, the Red Sox had a hit, a 1 run, 3 hits, no errors. They left 2. Don Gullett did the job for him tonight, aided by a big bat of Tony Perez, who slammed 2 homers and knocked in 4. So they now will go to Boston Saturday afternoon, where they